Today's match is...
You don't hand pass to somebody who's stationary. Spiro Malakalis up towards Couch, having a great game. Paul Couch, the reigning Brownlow medalist, out wide to 200 gamer Neville Bruns. He's marked more difficult ones than that, to his credit. Gets his kick in. Ablett the target, and this time does mark in front of Derui.
Amazing. The slip by Buckley was critical, wasn't it?
Hinkley.
Yeah, that's right. It can often happen too. I was just thinking also, really Brownless not picking up his man. Sets up a chain reaction, makes it very easy for Carlton to get the ball out of their back line and very quickly to the forward line.
Can Hinkley get Geelong's first goal for the quarter?
Very important kick, Peter, I feel.
And totally outplayed this term by Carlton. Have they pulled one back?
The goal.
Yes, they have. Hinkley putting through a valuable one for Geelong. It's his second and the Cats' 10th. 10-21 to 7-12.
Well, Ken Hinkley again off target today, but that time a much better kick for goal. He's kicked 2 goals 5 after kicking 2-6 last week. Gary Ablett moved the ball on very quickly. Good thinking after taking that strong mark out in front of Steve Derui. And Ken Hinkley with Peter Dean has been a very effective forward again this week.
Good bounce back in the centre. Silvani takes it from the Justin Madden knockout. Back to Bradley. Up towards half forward, and a good mark taken by Stephen Hocking, backing back into the pack. He's played pretty well, Stephen Hocking, across that half back line. Shocking kick. Fodia marks. Well, he really wasn't very well balanced. Fodia's kick into the pocket. Carlton mark Kernahan.
Kernahan has been moved down to full forward.
Well, I've heard stories, Bernie, from within the club that this is his best position. He really is not a centre-half forward. He's more of a mark and kick player, and if they could find someone like Stephen Silvani to play at centre-half forward, they're going to get more value out of Stephen back there in the goal front.
Yeah, you could be right, although he is a fantastic centre-half forward.
Stephen Kernahan, important kick. It is magnificent.
Kernahan's third goal. 2 of them have come this quarter, and what a quarter for the Blues. 8-12-60. They only trail now by 21 points.
Well, it's an amazing turnaround. You wouldn't have given Carlton any hope in the first half. But that poor kick from Stephen Hocking out of defence, setting that up for Stephen Kernahan, and that is a magnificent kick for goal from a very tight angle. Wayne Johnson coming off the ground, and he's been replaced by Glenn Hawker.
3 goals to Steve Kernahan. Carlton within striking distance, only 21 points down after they trailed by 41 at the main break, and again they go into attack, but Rogers stands his ground. Kicks to centre wing. Geelong still looking shell-shocked. Meldrum runs solidly at the ball to get past Fletcher. Carlton into attack again. And Sartori marking in front of Brownless.
Now down on the back line, so Malcolm Blight obviously worried.
Gee, football's funny. All Geelong, now all Carlton.
Sartori kicks long. And true. Sartori second. And you'd have to say that Carlton's going to win this game the way they're playing. Geelong 10-21, Carlton 9-12.
Well, they can't do any wrong at the moment, Carlton. They're winning the ball out of the centre. Big Justin Madden winning the tap-outs and hitting them a long way into the forward line. And that's setting it up for Carlton at the moment. They've also got 3 high-marking players, Stephen Silvani, Peter Sartori and Stephen Kernahan, all capable of taking a high mark.
Can the Cats answer the challenge? Sartori's second goal, back into the centre. Michael Roberts, what's happened to Johnston?
Yes, they got Wayne Johnson on the boundary line, working on his left knee. He seems to have twisted it, but should be okay.
Rogers kicks out of the centre, up towards 50 metres. Dean. A hurried hand pass, picked up by Herman. Dean couldn't take it back again. Scott to Stoneham, who's been quiet. Good tackle by Derui. Not easy to get past him.
He's got a free kick, Peter.
So the ball will come back.
Gee, that was desperate stuff, because if Stoneham had got past, well, you could have nearly put down those binoculars in your hands, I'd say, Pete.
I would say so. Kicks to centre wing. Madden in front. Flanagan, obviously not fully fit. Out to Gary Hocking. Centering kick. He's been one of Geelong's better players. Thumping punch away by Dean. Couch couldn't quite take it. Runs into Fotia. Madden goes down. and a bounce will take place on centre wing. 6.25 minutes left in this quarter.
That wasn't a good kick there from Gary Hocking. It really set Ken Hinkley up. Peter Dean had the opportunity to just thump the ball away.
Madden out to Fotia. Kicks from a standing start. Clean bowls Rogers. Spiro Malakalis can't get through. Buckley, the veteran. Oh, Kernahan. Easy mark. Going for goal number 4. And, well, they might cheer because Geelong looking very flat-footed at the moment.
Yes, and they're moving the ball quickly into the forward line. That's the difference in this quarter. They're winning the ball, controlling it around the centre of the ground.
5.5 minutes left in the term. Carlton started the quarter with 4-6 on the board. They've already kicked 5-6 so far in this quarter. Make that 6-6. Kernahan's 4th.
What are they doing? Homework.
We've got to do something about this.
We're always juggling money from one account to another.
Looks complicated.
Maybe you've got too many accounts.
Maybe you're right.
To help you make the most of your money, we've made it simpler to choose which accounts you really need. Because at Westpac, we believe the way you bank
Have an ice cream.
has a lot to do with the way you live.
I think we can manage that.
You can bank on us.
McEwen's Big League bargains are on. Supporters are screaming for more. Keep your house warm this winter and save on costly fuel bills with Insulco R2.5 half-square pack of fat bats at only $22.95. Plus, for only $79, Insulco will install any size roof with Insulco R2.5 ceiling fat bats, including free delivery to Melbourne and Geelong metro areas with minimum purchase of 15 packs. Only $79. What a deal! So support our high-flying savings with McEwen's Big League bargains store-wide.
Some car repair warranties appear to give a lot of coverage until you find out they actually come up a little short. But there's one that covers more repairs for longer than any other. The lifetime service warranty from your participating Ford dealer. It's Australia's best car repair warranty, and it's great to have it behind you. With Ford Care, you can relax.
Now that I'm an adult, I don't have to be sweet and innocent anymore. Or be kind to little furry animals. Shh. And when I get a cough, I don't take cough syrup anymore. Because I've got new orthoxical cough relief capsules. Adult capsules to relieve adult coughs. So, act your age.
Remember adult coughs or orthoxical cough relief capsules.
Mark Scaife, racing driver for Team Nissan. His car, Nissan Pulsar GX. The price, $14,990. The saving, over $2,000 at the Team Nissan sale. 1.8-litre fuel-injected engine, power steering and four-wheel disc brakes. Oh, but now he's caught in the rush with everyone else who wants a Pulsar GX for only $14,990. So be quick, with over $2,000 to be saved. Pulsar GX will be going very fast indeed.
That's my car.
That's my car. Well, it's been an absolute turnaround in the third quarter here at Princes Park. The Blues are into attack again through Fotia. Fotia's kicked the full forward. Kernahan. Silvani gets back. Verbeek's on his own. Silvani runs around. The left foot shot by Stephen Silvani. Woohoo!
Silvani second. Ian Robertson's happy. And just about everybody in the crowd is likewise. The Cats have gone to sleep. 10-21 to 11-12.
What a kick, Bernie.
Oh, this is an amazing turnaround by Carlton, and all the moves, as I said, of Alex Jezelenko are paying dividends. And Steve Silvani has kicked 2 goals. This one is a magnificent goal by Steve Silvani. And Kernahan's kicked 4, and also Sartori's kicked 1 for the quarter.
Well, the Cats might have found their handbags. They had lead in them before half-time, but not at the moment. McKenzie. Hinkley, they need one here, Geelong, and he's missed as the rain comes down at Princes Park.
Well, he's kicked the same as last week, 2 goals, 6. Not enough return for his efforts, Ken Hinkley. Really a lot of wasted opportunities.
David Kernahan to Bassett. Good punch away by Fletcher. He might get another grab at it too. No, Derui's taken it out. 41 points down at half-time, and it would be a pretty fair bet to suggest that Carlton would be in front at three-quarter time. And if somebody had told me that at half-time, I think I would have called the police. Ablett. Out of bounds. What a turnaround. Like everybody watching, we're a bit stunned. The most stunned 18 down there on the ground for Geelong, I think. Stoneham over the top. Bassett close to holding the ball. He finally shuffled it out.
Well, they did this a couple of weeks ago, didn't they, Carlton, against Melbourne after failing dismally in that first half. They fought back strongly.
You see Dominic Fodia there. He should have been playing for Italy in the World Cup.
I think they're going okay at the moment without him. Bruns. Oh, that'll be an amazing goal if it scores one. So nearly did for Scott, and one behind. Cats have only added, though, one goal this quarter. 1 goal, 6. Kernahan. Mackenzie marking in front of Stoneham. Still light rain falling. Verbeek couldn't take the mark. He might get a free kick.
Yep.
They're not working hard enough, the Geelong forwards, when Carlton are kicking off from full back.
On to Blackwell. He's got Fotia as a target and goes for him. Fotia from centre field. Brownless. Almost straight to Silvani. Stephen Hocking tries to snare it. And it's going to be a ball up 35 metres out from Carlton's goal. 78 to 83, so they're one straight kick away from hitting the lead.
The bounce. Carlton's half-forward area. Gary Hocking. Kick off the ground by Sartori. Lands with Bruns. He could be caught. No, he's nippy enough to get around. The kick's a bit high, though. Oh, great mark taken by Herman. And Scott, yes, you were a little bit out of position there, Robert Scott.
Well, it wasn't Robert Scott's fault. It was a bad kick by Neville Bruns. He sat it up, and Robert Scott had to wait for the ball. And that was a good mark by Herman coming over the top. But Neville Bruns should have kicked that ball out in front of Robert Scott. He's given him a chance.
He's played quite well, Herman. In a side that was thrashed in the first half.
22 possessions.
He had something like 20 in the first half. Herman, shot for goal. It's there.
Carlton
You're right, Peter. Yes, the Blues have hit the front in the dying minutes of the third quarter.
Well, this has been a great quarter of football by Carlton. And something that no one at the ground would have expected at half-time. 41 points down at half-time. There's the excellent mark to Herman over the top of Robert Scott. A poor kick by Neville Bruns. And suddenly, Carlton have found their accuracy in this second half as well, something that they didn't have in that first half.
Herman's first goal, and Carlton in front for the first time today. Fletcher taken out of it. Good tackle by Gary Hocking. He might get another chance. Flanagan to Stoneham. Can Geelong come back? One would think not, the way they're playing. Scott. Well shepherded. Centering kick. Ablett. Nearly. Mackenzie. Flanagan. Can't mark. Fodia could have got a free kick. Buckley comes out with the ball. Quick kick. Up to Silvani, and has he made the difference on the forward line? Blackwell. Sartori again in front of Brownless. Geelong, where are you? Kernahan marking in front of McCrabb.
Very wide though, Pete. It'll be a very difficult shot at goal there from about 40 metres out, but right on the boundary line.
He's kicked 4 goals.
Had a quick look at the clock then too, I think.
He's taken 8 marks. 9 kicks, 1 hand pass for Stephen Silvani. Well, the clock indicates, and it's ticking down.
Kernahan.
Kernahan, 39 seconds left. Oh, they can do no wrong. 5 goals to Steve Kernahan.
Imagine this man's finger is your car's fuel injector. It sprays petrol into your cylinder and with your piston creates this explosion. But fuel injectors can clog, robbing your car's performance. That's why you need BP Unleaded Petrol's new detergent additives to clean fuel injectors and carburetors and restore performance. BP, on the move.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm after a great deal on a new Holden.
Yeah. Red? Maybe something bigger. Not that big. I like that. In yellow? Something a little more sporty? Of course, I do most of my driving in the city.
So, you want a great deal on sporty red, blue, silver, yellow, green, small, medium, big wagon?
Yeah, I love it.
Holden's mid-year stock clearance sale. On now.
Welcome to DHL. Please enter your account number. Please enter the service you require. Please enter the destination code. Thank you for calling DHL.
Package for Africa.
When I get a cough, I don't take cough syrup anymore. Because I've got orthoxical cough relief capsules. Adult capsules to relieve adult coughs. So, act your age.
Adult coughs or orthoxical?
It's happening again. Huge price cuts. Bargain prices. That's right. The Myer Stocktake sale is on. When will it stop? When it's all gone. The Myer Stocktake sale. But hurry.
Next on Hinch.
15-year-old Susie Moroney is one of our best marathon swimmers. She's training now to take on one of the toughest long-distance battles in the world, the English Channel.
Oh, she's the best prospect I've ever seen in the world. Not just the country, but the world.
The big swim, next on Hinch.
Last year, a young Tassie team surprised their critics. This Sunday, they're out to win. Tasmania versus Victoria in the Foster State of Origin, live 2 o'clock Sunday.
The Blues 41 points down at half-time, but at three-quarter time they led by 7 points. 13-12, a 9-goal blast in that quarter, leading Geelong 10 goals, 23. They kicked 1 goal, 6 for the quarter. And I'm just wondering for Carlton fans, does it remind you of a game where the margin back in 1970 in a certain match at half-time was 44 points? The question is, can the Cats claw their way back into the game? Let's find out as we go to the start of the final quarter.
Final quarter in a thriller from Princes Park. Carlton annihilating Geelong in the third term. They kicked 9-6 to 1-6, and after trailing by 41 points, they currently lead by 7. Maybe a slight breeze going Geelong's way. Ablett taps forward. Brownless onto Bruns. Game number 200. Can he kick a goal from 40 metres out directly in front? And the Cats starting the last quarter as Carlton started the third. Neville Bruns putting through a valuable one, his first for the day. And did they need that? 1 point the difference.
Well, that is the vital area of the game, the centre bounce. And on this occasion, Geelong with the side able to get the ball out. Billy Brownless, a long hand pass that sits up favourably from Neville Bruns, and that's a good goal on the run. A bit of pressure being applied by the Carlton defence. A badly needed goal there, though, for Geelong.
1 point the difference. What a game we've had before a capacity crowd at Princes Park. Who's going to get it out of the centre this time? Gary Hocking for Geelong, but not a good kick, a real up and under job. Brownless and Hannah. Knock away by Dean. Back to Herman. Kicks long to Silvani. What a brilliant third quarter he had. On to Bassett. Over to Hawker, who's had a stint on the bench. A centering kick. Out comes Sartori and marks.
That's a beautiful kick by Glenn Hawker. Centering kick.
Spent a lot of that third quarter on the bench and came on when Johnson went off, I think, Bernie, didn't he? Johnson hurting himself, so Hawker now in the 18. Sartori's kick, right on the goal line. It's punched away, still until Fodia runs it over for a behind of the Blues. So Carlton lead by 2 points.
They've got two players that won't come back on the ground either. Richard Dennis off and Wayne Johnson very properly when he came off again at three-quarter time. So they've only got 18 fit players, Carlton.
McCrabb in towards half-back. No mark taken. Punched away. Gary Hocking. Good hand pass to the advantage of Spiro Malakalis. His left foot kick to half-forward. Ablett runs into an open goal. A high chip. And he just misses. Should he have stopped and had a deliberate shot?
Yes. He should have. Very lazy there in the end too, Gary Ablett, with that kick. Just try to make the distance and that's all.
1 point the difference. Madden late. Hannah could have infringed. The umpire says no. Meldrum punches clear after a good tackle and sees the ball safely out of bounds. 50 metres out, left half forward flank for Geelong. It was all Geelong in the first half. They led by 41. Carlton took the lead by 7 at three-quarter time. It's a thriller. Who's going to come out of this? No one, the umpire. And that light drizzle still falling. I suppose it's a little bit tautological to call it light drizzle. Drizzle might have sufficed. It's making conditions rather greasy. A bounce right on 50. Half forward for Geelong. Doesn't bounce very high. Buckley, the veteran, up towards centre wing. Exel. Unloads long. Bit of jostling in the pack there. Hannah got bumped out of it. Knock on by Dean. Hannah might get a second chance to soccer forward, which he does. Spiro, Malakalis and Fotia. Good Anglo-Saxon names. Hinkley. On the shoulder, says the umpire. Carlton free kick.
Yeah, it was a poor effort by Hinkley, I think, on Fotia. Very crude.
There's not much movement on that Geelong forward line at the moment. That kick from Gavin Exel. As we look at that replay there, there's a free kick against Malakalis.
You won't argue
no
with
doubt
that.
about that.
Silvani tried for mark of the year again. Nearly brought it down. Scott to Exel. Straight to Jimmy Buckley. Chips it in short. Hawker. Nearly. Play on. Stephen Hocking. Back to Schultz. Oh, hospital hand pass that job. Flanagan. Scott off the ground. Kick straight to Bruns, who's well caught. Too high.
Well, the free kick should have been paid before that anyway. There was a trip that should have been paid to Geelong.
Well, Bruns has it. His short pass finds Gary Hocking. A little too relaxed there. Oh, missing at Exel. Malakalis. Spiro. Kicks Geelong to within scoring distance. Dean gets back and punches Carlton clear. Fortunately for them, Blackwell's on the end of it. Blackwell goes backwards even further to Dean, and Dean will get Blues with a kick covering 45 metres out towards the wing. And a Geelong mark taken by Flanagan. That would be his first, I would think. His second mark for the day, Darren Flanagan. What a great performance he put in the grand final last year. But his form today, leaving just a little bit to be desired, I guess. Exel marks. 2 kicks from goal. Nice long kick into the pocket. David Kernahan, good mark. Tim Darcy just a little underneath it.
Not much movement on that, as I said before, Robbo, on that Geelong forward line. Bill Brownless was standing there before, just putting his hand up in the air. And that's not how you play the forward line.
David Kernahan's kick out towards half-back. Opportunity there for Herman. Gary Hocking, taken by Bradley. A quick kick by Bradley to half-forward. Hawker, bumped off it by Bruns. Kick off the ground by Silvani. Verbeek, Silvani. Carlton combining at half-forward. Get it within 50 metres. Kernahan, too strong and too talented from the Crab.
Why would you not move Michael Schulz back with him after his excellent performance in that first half? Michael Schulz playing on Steve Kernahan. Why wouldn't he go back to full back on Steve Kernahan?
Yeah, fair question, Bernie. So we'll just wait and see what happens in the next couple of minutes, because this could be a match-winning performance by Stephen Kernahan in the second half of this game. He kicked 4 goals in the third quarter. His total is 5. The kick is short, punched away by Sartori. Fotia in front of goals. Kick smothered, goes back towards centre half forward. Still there for Carlton. Now the Cats can get out of trouble. It's Fletcher's hand pass. Schultz is going to be caught by Bassett. The ball goes through Ablett. Derui, Ablett, Silvani. Ablett pulled off the ball when he didn't have anywhere near control of it. And Gary Ablett takes the free kick on centre wing.
Ablett just short of centre. Spiral punt kick to 50 metres. Brownless was the target. Punched by Hannah. Brownless will win out. You have to be quick. Meldrum has done well. Tony Malakalis to Brownless within kicking distance. Accuracy looks good for a goal. And did the Cats need that? What a game at Princes Park. Geelong hit back after they were thrashed in the third quarter. 12-24 now. They lead by 5 points. Carlton 13-13.
Yes, well, that was better play there by Bill Brownless, moving around a little bit on this occasion. Contested the mark and following up when the ball hit the ground, receiving the hand pass. and kicking his second goal. So Geelong now with the upper hand.
Geelong back in front, but only just 2 goals to Brownless. The difference is 5 points here at Princes Park. In a real thriller, Bradley over the top with a good hand pass. Bruns nearly caught with the ball, but was he taken high? And it was the latter option. Bruns out wide. Right centre wing. Couch and Blackwell. He's got him. Good tackle. Picked up by Robert Scott in front of Herman. Gary Hocking taps back. Fletcher beats 3. Hurried kick. Darcy couldn't mark. Tony Malakalis looks for the free kick. There was none, says the umpire. Fotia streaming downfield is Hannah now.
Hannah, who usually kicks the ball to the advantage of his teammate. Up to half forward. Silvani's grabbed by the jumper. Still held by the jumper. Umpire obviously didn't see it. And the ball is hustled over the boundary line by Malakalis.
Well, poor umpiring there. Michael Schulz hobbling around, but look at this. He certainly dragged him down there. That was a free kick. Should have been paid to Steve Silvani.
Half forward flank for Carlton. Madden doing the ruck work. Gets it out the back. Fletcher misses it. Kick off the ground by DeRui. Opportunity for Verbeek. Bassett. Sweeping hand pass. Verbeek in trouble. Ball rebounds to Gary Hocking. Still on the centre wing area. DeRui's kick up towards 50 metres for Carlton. Hawker. Handball. Opportunity for Satori. Goes back towards Bassett. Bassett from 45 has kicked the goal. What a match.
Bassett's first goal and Carlton's 14th, and the Blues back in front by 1 point, 97 to 96.
And Bernie, would you think Geelong are in trouble here with Schultz limping off? Linda obviously in a bit of trouble. Hamilton a fresh man.
Yeah, I would say so. I would think if Linden was available, he'd certainly be back on the ground now. It was a big loss actually, Bruce Linden. He played an excellent first half.
And a key defender going off, and Hamilton is a winger half forward.
1 point the difference at Princes Park. One of the great games of the year. Blackwell from left centre wing puts Carlton into attack again. Hawker with Stephen Hocking. Now it's Bradley who takes the hand pass. He took it from Verbeek. Now it's Hawker's turn. Spears the pass in. Buckley marks a metre out from goal. Jimmy Buckley's kicked 3, got the first goal of the match. He's kicked 2. I'm ahead of myself.
He's about to kick 3.
Well, he could hardly miss, could he, Ian?
Well, you would reckon that Jimmy Buckley, and I tell you what, he's a very important player to Carlton. The heart of the big blue in this man.
He has kicked 3. 3 goals to Jimmy Buckley, and things looking good for Carlton. 15-13 to 12-24.
Sunday on Skirts.
I'm a witch.
Julie gets a visit from the exorcist.
She's right off the tree, believe me.
Debbie gets too attached to a deserted child.
Aren't you just the most beautiful little boy in the whole world?
Pauline's placed in a difficult position by the boss.
Come over for a drink.
And Tina gets her first case of domestic violence.
Is there something wrong at home?
Boy's on some sort of fantasy trip.
What about Mum? You cover for a thug and a bully, and you do it in front of your own son.
Take a look at a great new Australian drama, Skirts, at 7:30 Sunday night on 7.
Small business has a range of telephone systems to choose from. Some offer more features than you could ever need. Others come close. And some fall well short. But one is just perfect. The NEC Ranger. It fits small business to a T. For small businesses that are thinking big.
Hold your horses, honey. How about some of this oily stuff? I've got gallons of it. Black Gold, Texas tea.
No, thanks. I like Kraft peanut butter. It's so easy to spread, and it's never dry or oily.
But all this could be yours! Stop! Now, kid! Don't be rash, kid! No! No!
Kraft peanut butter. Smooth or crunchy, but never dry or oily.
If you're really looking for a car, don't fool around with the others. Get the news straight
at the Toyota end of financial year stock take clearance. Toyota's whole range has been reduced. Check out the Hilux petrol cab chassis and the Light Ace 1-ton van, both from $12,990. The Toyota end of financial year stock take clearance ends June 30. So don't fool around.
Sorry. It's a bit wet over there. A bit wet over here, too. Let me get some drinks.
No, let me. Waiter, drinks all round.
Well, if we're going to make a party of it, let's nibble Nobby's nuts.
Sorry.
Stoneham jockeys for front position. Verbeek wins it. Hocking comes out to the member stand side. Gary Ablett the target, and he doesn't let him down. Ablett, long drop punt. Hannah, his name on it. Marking in front of Hinckley. He's got DeRuy as a target out on the wing. He's gone too far for him. Earlier mark to Verbeek. Now it comes to Fletcher. Fletcher kicks towards left half forward. Chance for Hinckley. They need a goal from him or someone. That might bounce through. It bounces the wrong way. That's if you're a Geelong supporter. One behind. So one straight kick the difference at Princes Park. 12-25.
And 2-7 to Ken Hinckley after 2-6 last week. And he could have won both games had he kicked accurately for the Geelong side.
Well, we thought it could prove costly in the wash-up. And it looks as though it's going to be that way. Gary Hocking. A quick kick and a very high one. Ablett, good mark and within kicking distance.
He's mercurial, isn't he, Bernie?
Well, let's hope he goes back, takes his time and has a kick at this one. He's done a few lazy things today, Gary Ablett.
9 marks, Bernie.
Without being outstanding, I'd say, Pete. Although that's, I suppose, a fairly good performance on the forward line.
Well, he's kicked 3. This could be his 4th, which will level the scores. And we're halfway through the quarter. Ablett's kick is a goal, I would say. It is. Gary Ablett gets his 4th goal and scores level.
Well, Gary Ablett's 4 goals, 3 and 1 out of bounds on the full. On a couple of occasions, he's just let himself down. Went back and had a few lazy kicks. That's an excellent mark, though, there by Gary Ablett when Geelong needed him most. And we see the Gary Ablett kicking style from about 45 metres out. He went back and laid into that one, kicked right through the ball. And
back into the centre.
Goal.
Ablett again getting the ball out of the centre, and the mark taken by Hamilton. The fresh man on the ground, but inside the square, a long kick. Flanagan at the back, can't mark. Tony Malakalis lost out. Dean, a quick hand pass to David Kernahan. Stutters a bit, back to Dean. Blues defence has been quite firm after half-time. Their whole game has been excellent, really. Silvani plays on and gets caught beautifully by Malakalis.
Too high.
Yep, the free kick to Steve Silvani, too high.
A little lucky. Let's see. Yes, no doubt about that. And good defence there by Geelong. But it's Kernahan. Centering kick. Runs, just didn't have the height. That's got to be 50 metres. Verbeek had the mark. Surely will be put on the goal line.
No, he's not getting 50 metres.
Well, I thought it came off the Geelong player's hands, and that's why Neville Bruns is remonstrating with the umpire there.
Well, he was right in doing what he did if it came off his hands.
Well, pretty hard to tell from that replay, but Neville Bruns was convinced that he'd touched the ball first.
Otherwise, it should be 50 metres, Bernie, shouldn't it?
Yep,
if it was a mark, if it was a legitimate mark, and he did that, it should be 50 metres.
Well, maybe there was some indecision in the umpire's mind in the end.
Verbeek. Any score will put Carlton ahead. And he's done that. 1 behind. So a point the difference in favour of the Blues. The match still there for winning. 11.5 minutes left, 104 to 103.
McCrabb, a little undecided. Now he comes to this side of the ground here. Madden at the back, but chipping in as Exel. Gets around onto the left foot a little too easily. And a lovely kick by Exel finds Tony Malakalis. His kick is high. Fodia gets back, punches it back towards Meldrum. Meldrum fumbles. He's got the ball underneath him. He's not going to be penalised because Geelong are going to get out of it. Darcy's kick. A bit of an up and under towards centre-half forward. Over the top, no mark taken. Blackwell kicked out of mid-air by Bradley. Back in towards the centre. Silvani, good tackle. Fletcher, caught, too high. This one's against Stephen Silvani, and the free kick will go to Fletcher. Maybe it was a little high, grabbing the jumper. Fletcher's kick to centre-half forward. Ablett! Doesn't mark. Carlton defence under enormous pressure at half-forward for Geelong. Umpire calls for a bounce. Ablett and Darui having words to each other.
Been a great battle, that. With Ablett's stats, you'd have to say he's on front, but Darui's done a great job. Hocking, Gary Hocking kicking to half-forward. Knocked away. Chance for Herman. Scott. Hinkley and David Kernahan. Could have been too high on a Carlton player there. Scott and Verbeek. It's out of bounds on centre wing.
Good play by Dean to go in and give Kernahan a hand. He desperately needed it, and that's what the defenders have done since half-time. They've been terrific. 9 3/4 minutes left. The Blues by a point. Stoneham taps down to Bruns. Past Fotier, but he should be able to gather it okay, which he does. Oh, he goes straight for the boundary line. That's deliberate. Yep. Poor play there by Fotier. I don't know why he's shaking his head. He could have got his left foot to the ball.
Stoneham to take the free kick. Ablett the target, logically. Got a few to beat. Meldrum. Now a chance for Scott. Hannah runs at him. Out the back, Ablett. Scores a level again. One behind. Now Gary Ablett with 17 kicks and 3 hand passes, 9 marks. And he's kicked 4 goals as a pensive Alex Jesselenko looks on.
Peter, with so much resting on this game, what a result we've got here. Scores level with, 9 minutes left. A lot on both sides here. Dean marks the kick in. He's got a player further afield. Wide is Bradley. He can't get there before the ball bounces over the boundary line. So very quickly the Blues are out on centre wing. It's perhaps 2.5 kicks from either side's goal. Stoneham in front. Madden gets the tap out. Blackwell. Neat little hand pass to Herman. Herman's pass to half forward. Carlton mark Kernahan.
Too good for McCrabb.
He's going to have a shot. The long kick by Kernahan hits the post. 5 goals, 3 to Steve Kernahan.
Bounced back into play.
Still hasn't made that change, Bernie. Have you observed that, or who's playing on Stephen Kernahan?
Well, still McCrabb on Kernahan, and I think he's left him there far too long.
He's got really too many options, I suppose, has he? Stoneham, almost a mark. Not paid by the umpire, and logically, Herman swings it forward to Verbeek. Out of bounds.
That's a free kick, but I don't know what for, Pete.
Walker running straight at the player, Rogers. Well, it has to be. I understand what you're saying, but it has to be for that.
Not a good kick, not a well-directed one. Out it comes to Fotier from Bradley. Buckley's in front, should mark, could have marked. Exel. Malakalis, Tony Malakalis to Rogers. Onto Scott. Can the Cats build on this? He's got plenty of pace, Scott. An excellent first half from him. Down to half forward. Hinkley was the flyer. Couldn't come down with the ball. Flanagan tries off the ground. Not successful. McKenzie. Good long hand pass. Stephen Kernahan. Good bump by Hamilton. Hannah.
Free kick back there to David Kernahan, I'd suggest.
Yes, it is. And he'll take it just up from the left back pocket. 7.5 minutes left in this game. David Kernahan hugging the boundary with the kick. Target is Madden. Nearly marked it. Good punch away. Herman out of bounds. So the Blues working it forward. It's close to centre wing now. One of the games of the season, certainly. It really has had everything. Madden taps down. Buckley, a fresh air shot. Bradley tap on. Blackwell. Back it comes to Herman. From right on the boundary line again. Silvani up one-handed. Nearly brings down a miraculous mark. Hawker. Backup support from the former Bomber, but it's out of bounds and left half forward. And a boundary throw-in will follow, and Silvani gets up a little bit proppy. And Carlton and Victorian selectors will find that not a happy sight.
Boundary throw-in. just forward of the centre wing. Satori. Exel gathers for Geelong. Kicks it back in towards centre half forward. Hannah can't mark. At the back, Darcy. Hannah the chaser. Darcy's handball over the top. Hamilton. Hamilton on 50 metres. Kicks it to the goal front. Flanagan in front. Punched away. Punched away again by DeRui. Blues could get out of trouble here through Herman. Herman's left foot kick. Wide for Madden. Too far. Bradley. Left foot kick by that player. Up towards the wing. Getting back is Stoneham. The kick is magnificently smothered by Dominic Fodia, and blood streaming.
Brilliant stuff by Fodia.
From a scratch or a cut, is it, by the look of it? And was that desperation or what?
Yes, and they've certainly got the smell of victory here now, Carlton.
Terrific stuff. Carlton by 1 point. We've got just under 6 minutes left. Satori, Bruns. The ball rebounds. Blackwell gets it out again. Buckley. Buckley kicks it to within scoring distance for Carlton. It goes over the back. A battle. Kernahan pushed in the back by Brownless. Play goes on. Verbeek and Exel. Umpire calls for a bounce. Is that a free kick against Brownless?
Well, I think the player threw himself forward. The Carlton player on that occasion.
Okay, that's an unbiased opinion from Bernie Quinlan.
There it is.
Maybe
there he is, throws himself forward, and Brownless fell down with him.
A bounce just 20 metres out. Stephen Hockey gets his left foot to the ball and kicks it wide. Carlton have got 2 on 1. One of those players, Blackwell, he just overruns it. Approaching 50 metres. Gets it back to Bassett. Can he kick with the right foot? Yes, he can. The kick is a beauty. It's a free kick up the field. Bassett flattened by Gary Hockey. Was that as he kicked it, Bernie, do you think, or after he kicked it?
I'd like to have a look at the replay again on that if I could, Robbo.
A line ball, I would think. But, gee whiz, look at the penalty that Geelong could pay.
Well, Steve Kernahan took the mark anyway.
But the whistle had gone, which means the players up the field perhaps
may have
relaxed a bit.
May have relaxed, yep.
So Stephen Kernahan has kicked 5 goals, 3. And his 6th goal could be probably the most important kick of the day. He's only 12 metres out, and he dobs it.
6 goals to Kernahan. 16-15, Carlton, Geelong, 13-26.
And I don't fancy Geelong's chances from here. 41 points up at half-time. Kernahan, 6 goals, 4. It's been an amazing performance in the second half. Stephen Silvani, centre-half forward. Steve Kernahan to full forward. And also Sartori running around. They've won the ball out of the centre and given these blokes plenty of opportunities.
Maybe we won't see a draw. These two clubs have only played 2 in AFL history in 1904. The last was in 1962 at the MCG, a long time ago. And towards half forward and Bradley again. Bradley just outside 50. A big pack of players down there. Sartori and Rogers. Fotia, a goal here for Carlton, would sew it up. Hocking. And Hocking clears for the Cats. Not for very long, perhaps, as Herman marks in front of Scott. Loose man is Bradley and also Bassett. The Blues just finishing the better. Certainly after half-time, they've been much the better side. In front was Stoneham. Ball shuffled out the back to Exel. Malakavis. He'll have to be quick. Silvani doesn't run him down. Up towards midfield. There's his brother Tony, playing his first game today. DeRui to Meldrum. Carlton with plenty of commitment. Down goes Fotia again. Out it comes to Malakavis. Fletcher shuffles it forward for Bruns. Couldn't handle it. Verbeek. Excellent hand pass. Hawker. DeRui, Ablett's opponent. Kicks high, but not very long. And there's a mark to Sartori directly in front. And a goal here would sew it up, Bernie.
Oh, yes, I think Carlton full of running in the second half. I don't think Geelong have got any answers at the moment. They've got the players on the forward line who are capable of winning the game off their own boot, about 3 or 4 of them. And I feel embarrassed after what we said at half-time.
Sartori for his 3rd. He's got it, and that just about is the ball game as the Blues go to a lead of 17-15, 117. Geelong, 13-26, 104.
Today's match is part of the CUB AFL 1990 Premiership season.
A big big effort by the Blues. 29,000 fans, along with commentators Peter Landy, Ian Robertson and Bernie Quinlan, seeing them victorious to the tune of 19 points. Kernahan 6, Satori 4 for Carlton, whilst Gary Ablett was Geelong's main contributor, also booting 4 goals. Well, it's time now for the third of 7 draws in the Sporting Chance competition, which registers your support for Melbourne's 1996 Olympic bid. And Golden Girl, and I might add, delirious Carlton supporter, Debbie Flintoff-King is going to tell us how to participate. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
You would be happy with Carlton, wouldn't you?
Very happy today.
Now, tell me, what do people have to do to get a chance to go to Barcelona?
Well, community support will be a critical factor in the selection committee's final choice of host city for the 1996 Olympics. You can register your support and become a member of the Olympic Down Under Club at any Tattersalls outlet by simply purchasing an Olympic kit for $2 with an opportunity to win one of 7 all expenses paid trips for 2 to Barcelona Olympics, flying Qantas.
Great prize, and we've already given it a big spin. I'll give it another one now so that it's fair for one and all. And Deb, if you'd like to make the draw, this is for a trip for 2 to Barcelona. Prizes do not come much better than that. Now,
and the winner this week is C. Atkinson of Mont Albert.
C. Atkinson from Mont Albert, congratulations to you if you haven't fallen down on the floor. Don't plan anything too soon because you are off to Barcelona. A trip for 2. Fantastic. Thank you, Deb.
Thanks, Andy.
Hope the Blues keep doing the right things for you.
I'm sure they will.
And don't forget too, the final 4 draws now will be conducted every 2 weeks, so we'll see you again in a fortnight, and we'll be back with more football action in just a moment.
Dunstall on a lead, dives, takes the mark, sensational football by the Hawks. What's this? The Westpac $1,000 bonus saver football competition. Each week Westpac is giving away a $1,000 bonus saver account. All you have to do is to pick up your entry at any Westpac branch in Victoria. $1,000? Fantastic. Now back to the centre bounce. Where'd everybody go? Where is everyone?
McEwen's Big League bargains are hotting up. High prices have taken a crunch. You'll save a big $50 on this versatile Australian-made Trico Z65 shed, now only $179. And Trico Z109 shed, featuring pre-drill panels for easy assembly, structural framing for greater strength, double sliding doors and bonus sliding window is only $299. Save a big $120. Check out our full Trico range in Zincalume and Colorbond finishes today. Don't fight over it. You'll find high-flying savings store-wide with McEwen's Big League bargains.
Oh, what a relief. Otraven clears stuffy noses fast for up to 10 hours.
Oh, you beautiful. Oh! Tropical longs really fit your rear.
That man has an interesting past. I've been admiring it.
Sit where you sit and not too dear.
That's either his girlfriend or he has a beautiful mum. Nice and neat.
Summer ones, winter ones, new each year.
That's a nifty pair of glasses. Cute.
A look you can live in that fits your rear.
Do you ever look at their faces? Cases? Who cares about their luggage?
Tropical longs by King G.
Check out these 2 great albums from the Polygram Top 10. Waking Hours, Delamitri, Scots That Rock.
So come on, babe, let's kiss this thing goodbye.
Addictions 1 wraps up the very best of Robert Palmer, one of today's biggest talents. 2 of the hottest albums in years from the Polygram Top 10.
Car Australia magazine had this to say about the Statesman V8. The Statesman represents state of the local art and equipment and technological terms. More than that, it is the best locally produced car we've ever driven, bar none.
What is Jane Holland hiding?
What is this mysterious job of yours? I wouldn't have thought there'd be many positions for public servants in Summer Bay.
Ben springs an unpleasant surprise.
I got a present for you.
Emma challenges Vicky.
Definite thumbs down. Not good with the exam so close.
And a breathtaking shock for Alf in Home and Away, 6:30 Monday on 7.
Here are tonight's Tats 2 results, just drawn under government supervision.
Welcome back, and now it's time for this week's winner of the $1,000 Westpac Bonus Saver football competition, and our winner is Mrs. Lynette Smith of Bundoora. So congratulations, Lynette, and don't forget to get your entry in for next week's draw. All you have to do is pick up your entry form at any Westpac branch here in Victoria, and there is a $1,000 Bonus Saver account to be won each and every week. Okay, let's now get back to football, and the other big game on today was, of course, at the MCG, and this, like our first highlights game, was like an elimination final. St Kilda and Melbourne, particularly for the Saints. Melbourne, of course, wanted to stay up at the top of the ladder with Essendon and Collingwood. St Kilda had to win today to keep their finals hopes alive. They brought Jimmy Cracker back into the team, and it was pretty even, with the Saints just getting their noses in front in the first half. As you can see there, St Kilda kicking 6 goals, 4 in the second quarter to advance to 9-9-63, leading Melbourne 7-7-49. Well, let's go to the action now at the MCG with some 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and the Saints' lead is 13 points.
Only about 10 metres away. Viney crashes into that pack. Daniels emerges with the ball. Bowie takes the mark just up from the back pocket.
He's had 9 kicks and 7 handballs, gives it to Jeffrey. Jody Arnold taking too long for the second time today, moments ago. No free kick paid for Low or Spalding. Frank Coughlin with a sweeping handball straight to the opposition, Yates. Left foot, tremendous pressure out there at the moment. The footy very hard to get hold of. It requires courage and concentration, and Daniel showed both. To centre half forward Low. Up against 2 Melbourne players. Hughes able to get back. Chance for Rice. Obbs will come at him hard from behind. Rice to centre half forward. Winmar. Still Winmar. Chance now for Harvey, who spins his way up. Still with Harvey and Winmar. Quick kick by Harvey. Will it stay in? Yes, it does, and Nixon takes the mark at half forward. He's got Bowie short, calling for it. Got Low now looking for a lead. Nixon, 2 marks, 8 kicks. And as Dennis Cometti said a couple of minutes ago, involved in an extraordinary incident after Hickmott was just shepherding him off. Seemed to lose his cool completely. Will he kick a goal here? It'll take a very good kick. Drop punt, coming back. What a goal. A beauty. 12-11 to 9-10.
Well, a high kick from Rice. Hung in the air a long time. Nixon took the mark. And watch this kick. In running, you would never back it. And yet at the last possible moment, it swung right to left and snuck through. And what a big goal it was, not only in the context of this game, but perhaps the season for the Saints. Handy lead now. We're back in the middle. Coughlin goes off the ground. Melbourne need the next goal. Tengay fell over. Keogh with a run of it. Keogh does well. Kicks through centre. It bounces towards half forward. Johnson hand passes towards centre half forward. Devonport, as he's done all day, stands firm. Kicks it out wide, but it's all Melbourne. Stretch. Possibly Melbourne's best player. Now the shepherd was too far off the ball, says the umpire. Well, Rice gets the free kick, and I suppose technically the umpire was right, but certainly the umpire putting his stamp on that piece of play, as Tengay has claimed. Now, I'm not sure that umpires should do that. Clearly, it was going to be, in the scheme of things, a Melbourne ball. It was 3 against 1. The man was 15 metres in the clear, and the umpire decided to pluck a free kick out of that and change the nature of things. Well, if it's the rule, it's the rule. But Melbourne a little stiff. Steins. Rice has got it. Smothered off the boot by Obst. Brett Lovett timed the release superbly. And away goes Phoebe towards half forward. Viney couldn't juggle it. Knocked away by Devonport. Scramble forward by Heber. Brilliantly taken by Burke, away to Coughlin.
With a drop punt, Low the target. Spalding doing pretty well in this term. Cracker to Bowie. And will he go? Yes, he does. 13-11 to 9-10. And that was an excellent Rovers goal, because the handball put him under a little bit of pressure, and he was quick enough to control it and snap truly.
Now, if you want the story of the game, it's here. Just watch Hughes. The indecision whether he goes to low or stays off. At the last possible moment he checks, but that was time enough for that man to get free and kick the goal. So Melbourne now in deep trouble. They trail by 25 points. And St Kilda showing a lot of fight this afternoon. They're still very much in this competition. Obbs the high kick. Pekin with great courage going back after it. Viney away to Tingay. Opportunity for Johnson. Johnson from 40 metres out. Misses. He had a little more time than he knew. And it goes through for a minor score. Remarkable effort by the Saints. They've made a lot of mistakes and still they lead by 4 goals. Devonport, most impressive. Favours the outer side. Steins is there. Came over the top and fisted it forward. Viney, target practice. Goal. And they're the sort of mistakes that hurt teams. You wonder how Viney can be so free. Well, the answer is the man that's marking him, Devonport, kicked the ball in. St Kilda 13-11 and Melbourne at 10-11.
Yes, interesting one there. Devonport kicking the ball in. Viney standing on his own at half forward. Nobody bothering to pick him up. Steins able to thump it out towards Viney, who turned around and, as Dennis Committee said, took target practice and goal. His second today. 89-71. Viney with 2, and the Viney-Devonport clash, the most interesting of the day. Both having an effect on the game. It's been a fierce third term. Little love lost between the two teams. Some fierce tackling. And the umpires obviously directed this week to let it go. Obbs with a thump away. Burke. Rice. Oh, good turn. And if the MCG was a little better, he would have held his feet. Lowry, good kick. It was a mighty kick. It had Lowe's name written all over it. And Rice was able to get it to Peak and to Lowry, who was able to give it to Lowe. Well, you would back him in from here, wouldn't you? He's had 11 marks, 9 kicks, and kicked 2 goals. And he must finish this off with a goal, because there's a minute and a half remaining in this third quarter. There's just 3 goals the difference. And after inspirational play like that, you've got to kick the goal from 20 metres out. Low, drop punt, steers it, and puts it through.
McEwen's Big League bargains are on. Supporters are screaming for more. Keep your house warm this winter and save on costly fuel bills with Insulco R2.5 half-square pack of fat bats at only $22.95. Plus, for only $79, Insulco will install any size roof with Insulco R2.5 ceiling fat bats, including free delivery to Melbourne and Geelong metro areas with minimum purchase of 15 packs. Only $79. What a deal! So support our high-flying savings with McEwen's Big League bargains store-wide.
If you're really looking for a car, don't fool around with the others. Get the news straight at the Toyota end of financial year stock take clearance. Toyota's whole range has been reduced. You can save an incredible $3,000 on the big V6 Lexus or get into a Corolla from only $13,398. The Toyota end of financial year stock take clearance ends June 30. So don't fool around.
Compared to a Kubota, other small tractors look very small indeed. For the same price, you can own a Kubota that will run rings around the others. Kubota has a 100-year heritage of tractor technology, and when you weigh it all up, Kubota technology makes the others look like a load of rubbish. Kubota, Australia's best-selling small tractor.
Put technology to work now at Scott's of Geelong and Yarra Glen Tractors.
Climax, still one of the world's richest sources of vitamin B.
The stylish all-new laser range, starting from the recommended retail price of just $14,991.
Oh, yeah? What do you get for that?
Which includes all these many features. What value?
I thought it'd be thousands more to get into a new model laser.
Quick, fast forward and see who the dealer is.
From all 4 dealers.
I've got to see that again. It's amazing.
Joanna is caught in a love triangle, and she's almost died 3 times. A coincidence, or has the fight for her love gone too far? Escaping the nightmare seems impossible. Living it is even worse. And just when you think it's over, there'll be one more twist. From the dead of night, Sunday and Monday on 7.
Crabtree's got some bad news for the French. René's got some good news for the Italians. A top comedy double, Allo Allo and Freshfields, Thursday on 7.
Very short, prepared to take a risk, decides not to. Straight down the centre.
And the Saints realising the importance of the situation in the first 3 quarters anyway, continuing to hold Melbourne out, and certainly great to see Stuart Lowe at his best. His aerial work at the MCG, fantastic to watch today. But with still a quarter to go, the Demons certainly weren't out of it. With just under 20 minutes remaining, they had a lead of some 4 goals. There are the 3-quarter time scores, and you can see there, the D's certainly not out of it. 10-11-71 to the Saints 14-11-95. So let's go to the action now, as I mentioned, with just under 20 minutes remaining, and the margin is 4 goals.
Devonport. It's got Frawley very short if he's prepared to take a risk. Decides not to. Straight down the centre. Oh, Winmar! Oh, what a mark! Sensational! Oh, that sends a tingle down the spine. And then a screw punt that towers 80 metres. And Phoebe just takes one on the chest to get us all back on a normal kill. That was quite wonderful, Nicky Winmar. Steins, Keogh. To centre half forward, Bennett on the lead. And he takes a screamer. Well, we've seen 3 marks today. One by Lowe, one by Winmar, and one by Bennett. That have been unforgettable. Lovell coming on for the Demons. And heaver off. Now, can Bennett finish this one off? Drop punt. I think he's missed again. Well, he's kicked 4 points, Dennis, and normally he's pretty safe from 45 metres out.
Yes, he kicks it so far. In fairness to him, most of the shots have been at a fair distance, but then again, distance really doesn't trouble him. Accuracy has today as Laurie kicks in the light rain. Bennett is up. St Kilda's free kick, and it's going to Harding. Interfered with before the ball arrived. This is Jeffrey from half-back. Towards half-forward with a kick, and there he is again, the man Mountain. As it turns out now, may not have taken the most spectacular mark of the day, but he's taken the most. Grant slid through his fingertips. Phoebe tidies up, straight back to Lowe. If there was one place you didn't need to kick it in that situation, it was back to this man. He's marked everything this afternoon. 14 marks to Stuart Lowe. They contest about 15 metres out. Winmar from behind. Well, that could be the icing on the cake. Nicky Winmar hit his hands. He went back after it. And now will kick it goal from about 30 metres out on a very slight angle. If he gets this one, you get the feeling Melbourne won't be able to come back. Marvellous effort today by the Saints. They've defied the odds. Winmar gets the goal. St Kilda 15-12, Melbourne 10-13. Phoebe's clearing kick, not a particularly good one. Lowe, who just kicked it down there, takes the chest mark, and then Winmar at the second attempt marks the Lowe kick. So maybe now a match-winning lead as far as the Saints are concerned.
15-12 to 10-13, 102 to 73. Harding the tap. Bowie to the goal front. Low. Hughes with him. And off Hughes' foot. And a throw-in. 14 marks and 13 kicks to Stuart Lowe. And Bowie getting stronger and stronger as well as the game goes on with 13 kicks and 8 handballs. Lowe versus Steins. Body against body. Cracker. Quick kick. Winmar, who's done some great things, and here's a goal. No, he hits the post, across the gate's a goal and out of bounds. Unbelievable. Well, I've lost my voice for the moment, Dennis. I can't believe he missed it.
Neither can he.
It was going to be just quite wonderful the way he was charging in and getting rid of everybody and going to put it through as easy as you like. But Hughes takes the kick to half-back.
Peak in the climb from behind, fisting away. Obst. Good player early to Johnson. The defensive side of centre wing. Across his body, Glenn Lovett on a collision course with Devonport, who was a little untidy. This is Keogh. Keogh goes long down towards Bennett. Frawley is closing. Bennett almost the mark. Kept his footing. Pulls it back across his body. And even with a snapshot, he's kicking as wayward. Jeffrey escorts that ball across the boundary line. And now Bennett goes across to do the ruck work. Just under 15.5 minutes remaining in the game. There's the problem confronting the Demons. From behind Frawley. Bennett wins it away, but it's going to be a St Kilda free kick. Harding plays on quickly to Daniels, who swings it out wide, ill-directed. Stretch takes the mark out there. Stretch, left half forward, back towards full forward. Bennett outnumbered. Daniels away to Bowie. This is Arnold from half back through centre. Yates is in front, in from the side, Phoebe.
Good strong mark to Phoebe. He's had 11 kicks and 4 handballs. Lyon. Kick to half forward. Lovett stands his ground. Jeffrey, who's been very good. So's Devonport. And so is Laurie. Arnold, who has some time to balance up on the left leg. Goes to centre half forward. A lot of Demons there. Oh, Hughes misses. Bad mistake and caught again. Glenn Lovett. Coughlin did well there. He could have given a free kick away by attacking Lovett. Decided not to. Low off one leg to centre half forward. Bowie with courage. Grant. Yates. Left foot round his body under pressure. The Demons are really under it now. Johnson to Stretch. 16th kick coming up. High one. Centre wing. Keogh good mark. Did the number 31 proud that time.
He's been pretty impressive. Works hard. Strong on the ball. Plays on according to the umpire. Kicks in towards half forward. In front was Lovett. Harvey got the hand pass away to Arnold. Knocked on by Burke. Coughlin. Nicely done by Harvey, but the hand pass a little untidy. Down went Rice. Coughlin scrambles it forward. Desperate stuff from these Saints. Lovell. Strong tackle on Hughes. Ball jarred free. Kicked forward by Daniels. This is Newport. Half smothered by Bowie. Steins leads in the race. Steins at left half back. Shoots a hand pass across to Stretch. Hard against the boundary line. Glenn Lovett had the superior judgment. On centre wing. Plays on quickly towards half forward. Bennett outnumbered again. Waiting behind, but unable to trap it down there was Spalding. Lovell inside 50. Little chip pass. And Brett Lovett takes the mark only 25, 30 metres out directly in front. Well, they worked hard, Melbourne. Just weight of numbers. Edging the ball forward. So Lyon now is in defence. Spalding's on the forward line. John Northey ringing the changes. Brett Lovett for Melbourne's 11th. They desperately need it, and I think he's provided it. He has.
Imagine this man's finger is your car's fuel injector. It sprays petrol into your cylinder and with your piston creates this explosion. But fuel injectors can clog, robbing your car's performance. That's why you need BP Unleaded Petrol's new detergent additives to clean fuel injectors and carburetors and restore performance. BP, on the move.
McEwen's Big League bargains are hotting up. High prices have taken a crunch. You'll save a big $50 on this versatile Australian-made Trico Z65 shed, now only $179. And Trico Z109 shed, featuring pre-drill panels for easy assembly, structural framing for greater strength, double sliding doors and bonus sliding window is only $299. Save a big $120. Check out our full Trico range in Zincalume and Colorbond finishes today. Don't fight over it. You'll find high-flying savings store-wide with McEwen's Big League bargains.
For shock absorber replacement, you need a specialist, and you might as well have the best.
Take a swift look at the range of Suzuki Swifts. For a start, the Swift GA is officially the most economical car in Australia, with automatic also available. Moving on quickly is the Swift GTI that reaches 100 kilometres an hour in just 8.6 seconds. And the last word in family fun is the 1.6 sedan in manual or automatic that combines swift performance with the convenience of 4 doors and bags of room to boot. Suzuki Swift from only $11,990.
It's Ray Drummond's $5 million clean sweep stocktake sale. Out they go. Bags, buggies, clubs, balls, golfwear at up to 50% off. Ray Drummond's clean sweep stocktake sale at all Ray Drummond stores.
Martin Vinicum, gold medal winner for Australia. His energy source, Lucozade. Lucozade, liquid energy.
When you can buy an Australian-made car in LA, drink a Foster's in London, when the world is held hostage in Lebanon, and your TV comes from Taiwan, when your mortgage depends on decisions in Canberra, you worry about the price of the dollar and the continuing fallout from Chernobyl. When you live this close to the world, and the world lives this close to you, everything is local news. 7 Nightly News with Jennifer Kite, weeknights at 6.
So they need another 4 or 5 to win it. Love it with a quick kick to full forward. An important bounce, chance for Viney. Off the ground, Devonport back with him. Still Devonport, and he concedes a behind. So good defensive play by Devonport. Melbourne up to 11-14. St Kilda 15 goals, 12. So 102 to 80.
Grant Laurie, who's had a very good game, kicks in towards the outer side wing. Stein's in front. Failed to take the mark. Put the gloves on. This is Weiss. Coughlin, forward at centre wing, kicks inside 50. Arnold's the target and he's taken the mark. Started the game at centre half back. He's now on the forward line. And will kick it goal from about 40 metres out. Could be the unlikely hero here inside the last 11 minutes of the game. The misting rain almost stopped. And Arnold, picked up in the draft last November, kicking at the Saints' 16th goal. Good effort. I think he's got it. He has. And that could be the game. 16-12 to 11-14. Arnold swung on the forward line, taking this mark. Difficult kick, although a natural left footer had the angle open up. And he steered it through from long range.
$108 to 80. 16-12 to 11-14. And surely the Saints are home from here. Harding, low, off the ground by Line. Keogh just got rid of his opponent cleverly to full forward. Love it. Good mark. Free kick though to Pekin. Well, I didn't see it, but it doesn't mean it wasn't there. Pekin to Burke. And that's a good kick. Pekin, who's had 13 kicks and 17 handballs. Burke has defended resolutely, hasn't had a lot of stats, but's done all right. Daniels, Jeffrey, who's been excellent all day. Drop punt, looks for low. Well, he's quite wonderful. He really is a joy to watch. 15 marks and goes to the goal square with a good kick. 2 Melbourne players down there. Newport, a bit of time. Drop punt. Jeffrey, all courage, and he did it well, and then gives it across to Burke.
Burke in short, spearing pass. Nixon. So you sense they've weathered the storm now. Nixon. Arnold growing in stature, offering the lead and taking the mark. Allowed to stand, and the Melbourne fans saying, well, perhaps that was similar to what happened at the other end with Lovett. Different umpire. So Jody Arnold kicked the last goal, and the chance to post his second and put it beyond doubt. Masterstroke, Arnold on the forward line. Who would have thought? The big fellow taking plenty of time, savouring the moment. Much easier than the previous kick. So Arnold gets another one. 17 goals on the board now for the Saints. 17-12 to Melbourne 11-14. And they're finishing right over the top. And of course, this keeps their finals hopes alive. They came in today in trouble. Only won 2 of their last 5. Their record was 6-6. But St Kilda proving to everybody that they're right back in business and do have the necessary to give the top teams a real shake.
The Saints by 34 points, the biggest margin of the day. Coughlin, and their fans want another one. Rice, oh, cleverly done. Drop punt, low. Well, they're on fire now, the Saints. Rice with a little sidestep, and Low will always take those marks. 16 marks today.
It's hard to know how to play him. I think the best thing to do is to deflate the ball.
Yeah, so it doesn't get that far. Well, he's kicked 3, kicked 6 last week. He's only 25 to 30 metres out, straight in front. And suddenly the Saints are building on percentage. Drop punt, straight through the middle. 4 to Low and 18 to St Kilda.
Yes, a magnificent performance in the end by the Saints. They booted 6 in that final term, kept the Demons down to 4. Final scoreline, St Kilda, 20 goals, 12, 132. Melbourne, 14, 15, 99. The victory margin there, 33 points for the Saints, so the final 5 is still wide open. Plenty more football still to come on 7. I hope you can stay with us. Coming up after the break, Scott Palmer, and besides the news of the AFL, he's got news of an amazing game up in the Castlemaine League.
Well, Dipper, what would you recommend?
Ah, the house special. Quattro eventi.
Quattro what?
Tender piping hot meat, bathed in a delicately spiced, exquisite gravy, lovingly moulded and encased in a golden pastry envelope.
Truth.
Sounds delicious.
For 4?
Fine.
No worries. More 4 and 20s, Maestro. Going right up. Quattro e 20.
4 and 20. Ripper, dipper. Oi. Can we see the beer list?
No worries.
4 and 20. The great Australian taste.
One weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Do something for yourself. Join the Army Reserve.
For information, call 662 2333.
Which rent-a-car company can turn you around in under 2.5 minutes?
Budget Super Rent, the fastest way to rent a car at any major airport. Just book ahead, present any major credit card on arrival, and you'll receive the keys in less than 2.5 minutes. And if it takes a fraction of a second longer, we'll give you a stylish desktop calculator free. Budget Super Rent drives your dollar faster.
Compared to a Kubota, other small tractors look very small indeed. For the same price, you can own a Kubota that will run rings around the others. Kubota has a 100-year heritage of tractor technology, and when you weigh it all up, Kubota technology makes the others look like a load of rubbish. Kubota, Australia's best-selling small tractor. Put technology to work now at Goddings Whittlesea and Elliott's Dandenong.
If you're really looking for a car, don't fool around with the others. Get the news straight at the Toyota end of financial year stock take clearance. Toyota's whole range has been reduced. Check out the Hilux petrol cab chassis and the Light Ace 1-ton van, both from $12,990. The Toyota end of financial year stock take clearance ends June 30. So don't fool around.
How do you make a great Australian even greater?
More meat, less pastry.
4 and 20. Now with more meat, less pastry, so they taste even better. 4 and 20, a great Australian taste.
Taking time out from preparing the sporting pages of the Sunday Sun is Scott Palmer. Scotty, firstly out to Princes Park, an amazing game out there today. Jezza, what's he think of Carlton? Can they now win the flag?
Well, he says they can. He says they can beat any team in the competition. He said that we might only need 12 games to get into the 4, and from 4th position or 5th position, we can do it, says Jezza. And on today's results, who can doubt him, Sandy?
Scotty, I watched Malcolm Blight walking from the coach's box at the end of the game. He looked lost.
He was a shattered man tonight, and he said there must be 1 million pages in the coaching handbook, and he said I've flipped through 2/3 of them and still can't come up with the right answers. He said that in 12 games, in the last 12 games, Geelong have been 4 goals or more in front, and in most occasions we've been able to fumble a pass, and we did it again today. A tragedy for the Cats. And of course at Carlton they've got Richard Dennis tonight, who looks like missing 4 to 6 weeks with a medial ligament. Wayne Johnson also jarred his knee. He thought he was going to the orthopaedic surgeon after the match, but they said, no, wait, Wayne, it could only be 1 or 2 weeks. And Schultz has a knee for Geelong, and Lindner's got an ankle. So it was a pretty tragic day all round up there at Carlton for the injury-wise.
Yeah, Scotty, I guess that John Northey's also scratching his head.
Yes, he said maybe we need something written about us. Remember a couple of weeks ago someone wrote about them being soft against Collingwood, and they came out next week. He said maybe that's what required. He said, you know, we just let ourselves down. We've been in the same position for the last 4 years and the same thing happened. We just cannot consolidate.
And Kenny Sheldon, it's the end of a long week but a happy one.
Fantastic week. He said 7 days. He's put so much into these last 7 days. Barbecues, letting the team train themselves, him going out to train, team meetings, the lot, he said, and the results were there today. He was very ecstatic. Travis Page said, we can make the finals now.
Scotty?
Yes, mate?
I know you said that. Briefly, up at Campbell's Creek, what was the score in that game?
It was 100 goals, 38 to Campbell's Creek. The Primrose 3-8. 5 blokes kicked 10 goals apiece. Red Satori kicked 18, and they're celebrating up in the club rooms tonight. What a wonderful effort. 20 goals, 25, 29, 26 a quarter, and they kicked their 100th with 20 seconds to go.
Thank you, Scotty. And Scott Palmer of the Sunday Sun. 100 goals and over 30 behinds. Well done, Campbell's Creek. Stay with 7 for all the footy. Coming up shortly, we've got the Brisbane Bears playing host to the Bombers.
This has been a 7 Sport presentation for the Australian Television Network.
The 1990 AFL Premiership season was proudly brought to you by CUB, one of the world's great brewers. Westpac, you can bank on Westpac. McEwen's, you can do it with McEwen's. 4 and 20, the great Australian taste. And BP, on the move.
Telecast live under lights from the Wacker, Western Australia versus Victoria. 8:30 Tuesday at the Foster State of Origin. Exclusive to 7 Sports.
The AFL Football 1990 albums and stickers. The albums packed full of information on all the teams, their history, and the stars. Collect the stickers, swap the stickers. That's half the fun. When you have the whole set, you've got a fantastic souvenir of the season. The AFL Football 1990 album and stickers at your newsagent now.
They say it's the little things that mean such a lot. All oils are the same, but to Caltex they're not. Everybody's car needs a good brand, so here's what we've got.
Caltex CXT, a high-performance oil to help your car's performance.
Let Caltex share the driving with you.
There's a time for loving and a time for embracing. There's a time for throwing all past stones away. There's a time for healing and a time for forgiving. There's a time for building bridges, and that time is now. Oh, take our hearts, Lord, take our minds, take our hands, Lord, and make them one. Take our hearts, Lord, take our minds, take our hands, Lord, and make them one.
The best of everything Australian is on Channel 7.
The 1990 AFL Premiership season is proudly brought to you by BP, On the Move. CUB, one of the world's great brewers. Westpac, you can bank on Westpac. McEwen's, you can do it with McEwen's. And 4 and 20, the great Australian taste.
In AFL Live, the Brisbane Bears against Essendon, coming to you from Carrara on the Gold Coast. The Bears have lost their last 5 matches and are struggling, but their 2 wins have been at home. And it's worth remembering they beat Hawthorn here last year in the Hawks Premiership year. Warwick Kappa is back for the first time since round 2. Essendon have won their last 5 to head the ladder, but any complacency on the part of the Bombers could prove disastrous in a season highlighted by upsets. Welcome live to Carrara for the continuation of round 13 in the AFL season. The Brisbane Bears against Essendon. Well, of course, it's David and Goliath because it's first versus bottom on the AFL ladder. But in the season where we've had so many upsets, just who knows? And of course, we can remember back to last year when Hawthorn came up here and carrying all before them, but they went away without the points and the Hawks went on to win the premiership last year. For the Bears, well, they'll be looking for a boost for their long-suffering supporters and to win their 3rd match for the season. And for the Bombers, they'll be looking for a percentage booster to consolidate their position at the top of the ladder. The Bombers already out there and the Bears just making their way out. And quite a good crowd here at Carrara tonight, so certainly the Queenslanders haven't given the Bears away. It's a superb night for football, just a bit of crispness in the air, but it's still, and the ground looks in good condition, and we should be in for a top contest here. Well, with me, Don Scott, and it's a pleasure to be up here, and I think that the Bears might have something going for them. For instance, they won in the reserves, and they were second bottom there.
Yes, they did. Actually, it was a marvellous game, the reserve grade game, because they were a long way up in front, and Essendon really did come back well. But as you said earlier, it's a very, very good night for football, and let's hope it's a real game, because as you said, first versus the bottom side, and on paper it looks Essendon look too good.
Well, let's have a look through the lineups here tonight as we watch the Bears take a run around the ground.
And quickly running through, Michael Kennedy, young fellow in the back pocket from Canberra, and Matthew Kenny I'm very impressed with, but he's got a hard job. Whether Terry Danaher lines up there, we wait and see. Simon Madden started on the bench last week, but Alan Ezard also in the forward pocket for Essendon.
Well, there's a bit of talent there in the Brisbane half-back line. All West Australians, Richardson, Lester Smith and Zanotti, but talent for Essendon as well, and look at Timmy Watson there.
And we look at the centres, and according to David Parkin, this is part of the engine room. I never really knew the engine room existed on the football field, but the centre line apparently is, and Ashcroft is in there with Kickett, a brilliant footballer. McIver didn't play so well on the wing, so whether he lines up there, he played a little bit better at centre-half forward last week. Long has been out of form.
Well, Don, if that's the engine room, maybe this is the bonnet. Half forwards for Brisbane, Gastev, Edwards and O'Keefe. But Van der Haar has been in great touch a couple of weeks ago, best on ground in Sydney.
And the forwards, Merritt, well, he's got injuring, carrying that injured ankle. It really does require an operation, but could kick goals up there. Hardy has been putting in a lot on the track, and Hamilton, he'll pick up the best player in the Brisbane Bears forward line.
And let's have a look at the followers. Alex Oshenko having a great season, and Withers a best and fairest winner, Bain a Sandover medalist, but Paul Salmon would be the Brownlow favourite.
And incidentally, that's the other part of the engine room, according to David Parkin, the centre line and the followers. And on the reserve on the reserve bench, Umbers, Caton, McMullen and Moore.
Okay, that's how we expect they may line up tonight. Joining us in commentary tonight is Peter McKenna, and we'll be back for the start of the game here at Carrara shortly.
Hi, I'm Paul Hamilton. There's plenty of action coming your way in this AFL season on Channel 7 Sport.
Style, space, comfort and performance. Qualities that have made Ford Falcon Australia's car of the decade. So how do you make Falcon even better? Equip it with the only 4-speed electronic control automatic designed and built here in Australia, and featuring power and economy modes. With a transmission this smooth, Ford Falcon, the car of this decade, is now geared up for the next decade.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
Before you go to bed with someone, ask yourself, who have they been to bed with? They could have slept with someone who's been doing drugs and shared a needle with someone who shared a needle with someone who had the AIDS virus. And that means any of these people could have passed on the AIDS virus to your partner. If you go to bed with someone, always use a condom. Because when you sleep with someone, you're also sleeping with their past.
That'll be the phone, Rich.
Huh? Yeah. Hello? Huh? Sounds like the battery, son. Huh. Under the bonnet, son. Bye. I think city life's made him a bit slow, Marge.
It doesn't take much to keep in touch.
At last, they've put it in print for everyone to see. The Myers Stocktake Sale Catalogue. It's full of huge savings. See for yourself. The Myers Stocktake Sale. Don't miss out.
Here is the car that you've been waiting for. It's a great way of driving and a whole lot more. Hey, have you driven a Ford? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Back at Carrara and down on the boundary line tonight, Bill McDonald. Evening, Bill.
Good evening, Drew, and lovely, fabulous conditions here at Carrara tonight for this David and Goliath clash. A nice fine evening, a nice mild evening actually, 16 degrees. Not much wind around tonight, it's only gusting up to about 2 kilometres an hour and going straight across the ground, so not much advantage there goal-wise. The surface out here tonight is slippery, but as we said, almost ideal conditions for football tonight.
Thank you, Bill. We'll be hearing from Bill during the night. Well, Brisbane have never beaten the Bombers in 5 matches, and there are only 2 other teams in the competition the Bears have never beaten, Collingwood and the Eagles. 140 points, the biggest winning margin for the Bombers in 1988. Roger Merritt, the Bears captain, playing his 199th, won the toss and will be going right to left.
Interesting, Don, to see Brad Hardy. Looks as though he's lining up in the centre, and there's a mismatch in height. Rod Lester-Smith, a very good player. There's Hardy, but he's having to pick up Salmon, and that will be a big clash, Don. Warwick Capper on Anthony Danaher.
And Madden in the rucks we saw there, and Salmon at full forward for Essendon.
Umpires in charge tonight, Darren Goldspink and Shane Harris. The game gets underway. Madden gets the first touch. Long gets bowled over once he'd had a tap on, kick it rather, and it'll be a relayed free kick up the ground and will be taken by Mark Harvey, who was the Bombers' best last week. Harvey goes out wide. Watson leads. Couldn't take the mark. Gastev on him. Gastev the first possession. Up to centre wing. Grenvold, a clever tap out to Harvey. Harvey delayed the kick and came in short to Manning. He sweeps it back to Madden. The Bombers have had all the ball and haven't gone anywhere. Madden up to half forward. Van der Haar leads and marks on the 50. Paul Van der Haar thinks he's too far out to score. Salmon leads and takes a chest mark well within kicking distance.
It was not much closer to goal, Drew. It's only about 10 metres closer, but Paul Salmon well within kicking distance. Against the West Coast 3 weeks ago, he'd kicked 3 goals in the first quarter and resting up in that forward line.
So Salmon for the first score of the night. Kick's got the distance right over the goal umpire's head for a goal.
Well, the first score, and it's in favour of Essendon, and Paul Salmon his first. Had a quiet week last week as far as his own performance was concerned. The week before he was in sensational form against the West Coast Eagles. Could do no wrong. Didn't take as many marks last week, and that was a highlight of his game against the West Coast.
Tremendous start this by Essendon, and we saw some terrific skills in that passage of football, particularly by Mark Harvey, who is not only a courageous player, but a very highly skilled one. Now, this is the Bears' free
That's
kick
50
and
metres. That's got to be 50.
That is bad play by the Bombers there, and umpire Shane Harris was quite correct.
I don't think it was intentional, Peter. He was trying to get that whole play up by looping the ball, but it just didn't quite make the mark.
No, well, you can't afford that. You certainly can't afford 50 metres down in the opposition forward line. This is Philip Walsh going short. The lead was out to the half forward line. It's Scott McIver battling hard against Kickett. Oh, well done by Derek Kickett. The quick kick out towards the centre of the ground. Zanotti has had a tremendous year. The bad hand pass. That was Mark Thompson. It's Martin Leslie back to Michael Kennedy. 2 Kennedys playing. Michael and Matt. Zanotti has had a tremendous year for the Bears. Back it comes to Michael Kennedy. Up to Ashenko. It fisted the ground. Kappa has got 2 to beat. Anthony Danaher being one of them. Takes it away quite easily with a torpedo punt to centre wing. Kransberg, West Australian recruit, allows his teammate to come through in Tim Watson. Oh, the loose men here, in one in particular is Manning. Cleverly taps it on. Good play, and also good play Martin Leslie do not give away the free kick then. Good play by the South Australian interstater.
He did well last week, actually, Martin Leslie. It's unfortunate that Kernahan cut loose in the third quarter. But up to that stage, he was doing quite well and has had a good season for the Bears.
Bombers back into attack. Knocked forward by Salmon. Tackled by Matthew Kennedy. Ball spills free, taken by Bain. Kicked by Bain out wide, short of centre wing. Ashenko takes the mark in front of Madden.
Should be 52.
Ashenko over the top with his hand pass to Bain, who kept going. David Bain gets good pace from a standing start. To half forward, McIver. Outmarks Danaher.
And that's a good of an effort to do that.
Scott McIver round onto his left boot. Kappa was underneath the ball. His opponent, Anthony Danaher, doubles back to take the mark. And Kappa was leading down the ground. That one missed him by about 20 metres. Off to Izard. He runs out of the defensive goal square. Kappa giving good chase. Izard's left footer is wide on the bounce for Long. And the ball is seen out over the boundary line by Walsh, and we'll have a throw-in.
Well, Kappa apparently has been working, even though he's been in the reserves, has been working particularly hard. There he is, and I personally hope he does well tonight because he's taken it like a man playing in the reserves. And they speak very highly of him up here. because he really wants to stay with the Bears apparently, and is working hard under Brendan Edwards as their fitness man now. Ashenko to half forward. Down the ground is Mark Withers trying to get in a hand pass. Here's Merritt playing against his former club. He'll work hard all night. There's Kappa chasing. Great play, Mark Thompson. He's ever reliable. And he kicks wide to Buick, who has a ton of pace. Michael Richardson hot on his hammer. Buick brings it around the grandstand side. Martin Leslie heads for the boundary line. Martin Leslie and Zanotti have really had fine years for the Bears.
Well, Zanotti in particular last week did a terrific job on Mark Nailey, and really did put him out of business. He also picked up a lot of possessions himself.
And it's Zanotti this time taking clean possession out of the ruck. Bain charges at the ball, comes to Richardson. Good handling, back to Bain. Kick by Bain for Kappa. Danaher in front. Izard Roves, good tackle by Hardy. Merritt trying to trap the ball on the 50, comes to Ashenko. Blind hand pass over the top, and Anthony Danaher goes for the boundary line, and we'll have a throw.
Actually, I said Zanotti was on Nailey. He was actually picking up Hawker last week and had 28 possessions, 23 kicks, 5 handballs.
Ashenko against Madden. No one actually tapped that. It's Kickett receiving from Mark Thompson now wide. Walsh against Michael Long. Who's going to win out? Good play, Philip Walsh. He just slipped over at the wrong moment. There's Long to Harvey. Always seems to have a ton of time. He goes to half forward. Good play, Salmon. Terrific skill for a big man. Over to Manning. Then on to Long. Here's danger for the Bears. Michael Long from 50 metres. Set sail for home. Will it bounce through? No. Touched by Gastev right on the line, and he thumps it through. Gastev with a big job on Tim Watson, the Essendon champ. The Bombers lead 1-1-7 to the Bears yet to score. Big upset in the reserves when the Bears won.
Actually, the Bears in the reserves led by 50 points at half-time and finished up winning it by 7.
Ashenko marking on that occasion. Let's hope he can recapture the form he had 3 weeks ago. I believe he should be in that state team for Western Australia, and unfortunate to miss out.
Zanotti giving a good contest and holding the ball, doing nothing to get it out.
Well, that's that new rule where Zanotti was staging for the free and they wouldn't pay it. Tried to con the umpire. Well, not a new rule, but the umpire's very aware of that.
Manning to Watson, and Watson 75 metres from goal. Gets around Gastev. Zanotti bowls him over. Good centering kick. Chance here for Harvey. Lester Smith. Real scramble. Out from O'Keefe to Bain. And Bain towards the back pocket. Walsh. Bain's had a lot of touches. Lester Smith, a real hospital ball. Back to Bain. And again to Walsh. Wide for McIver. Too wide. Out of bounds on the full. Short of centre wing.
They do handle the ball a lot, the Bears. The way they brought it around that outer flank, a lot of players were involved. Admittedly, they kept possession, but one kick would have been sufficient.
This is Darren Buick receiving from Terry Danaher. Buick to half forward. Harvey at the back as the flyer. Fisted to ground. Michael Richardson over to Matt Kennedy, on to Michael Kennedy. Oh, Mark Zanotti went to handball and actually threw that in the finish to himself. And he kicks it wide towards Withers, who leads in the race, then soccers it off the ground. Danaher way out in front of Kappa. Laura Kappa will have to get in front. Now he receives that from Hardy. Grenvold in hard, but Scott McIver cleverly grabs it, hooks it back in front of goal. There's no one there for the Bears. Grabbed by O'Donnell, and O'Donnell heads wide and in fact puts it out of bounds on the full. There's Gary O'Donnell. Very reliable defender. They've got a great defence, Essendon. There's no doubt about that. Hardy got a weakness on that back line. Hardy will kick from
he could chip it over, Peter, if he wanted to Gastev.
Well, he's going for the long one. Now he's kicking it towards half forward. Merritt underneath it. Waiting over the back, Mark Thompson to take a safe mark.
Kick out towards centre wing. Kransberg comes to the front to Manning. Delivers off well to Hamilton, who had it spent before he got it. Long, clever. Back to Hamilton.
Oh, good tackle.
Down by Zanotti.
It's pace.
Kennedy flips it out to O'Keefe. Further afield to Walsh. Kick to centre half forward. Ashenko. Hacked out of there for Essendon, but a diving mark by Walsh. And he's about 65 metres out from goal. Merritt ducks back towards the goal square. He's got it!
Oh, clever.
A little bit of pushing and shoving on that occasion.
Just a little one, Don.
But it's interesting, that's the way the Bears have got to do it on their forward line, the way it's structured, because they've got Merritt and they've also got Kappa. And so if they put the ball up high, then the onus is put on the smaller fellows. If those guys don't take the mark, the little fellows should swoop on it and crumb the packs. That should be their style of play.
Fair play to get rid of. Then Paul Salmon, and now Roger Merritt against his old team. Right in front, 20 metres from goal. Gets the Bears first for the night.
Who can you bank on when your paydays are through? 'Cause your salary stops, but the bills never do. Who can you bank on when the kids are all gone? Who'll help you enjoy the time of your own? Who can you bank on? Who can you bank on? Who can you trust? You can bank on Westpac. You can bank on us.
Essendon lead by 1 point after that goal by Merritt. Derek Kickett's off the ground and Ian McMullen, former Collingwood player, on. There's Harvey with a quick kick to the half-forward line. Madden cleverly taps it out. Michael Kennedy leads in the race, then taps it. He's looking for Lester Smith, then back to Michael Kennedy. It's a good little battler, Michael Kennedy, over further afield to Leslie, who was under a bit of pressure and went for the line. Good play by Martin Leslie.
Also did a bit of strong work off the ball then too, Peter. Shepherding for Kennedy.
Oh, he's a good player, Martin Leslie.
And improving.
State of origin player, of course, for South Australia. Now here's Andrew Manning. Tackled, went to ground. The tap out comes to Hardy, then on to Zanotti. Now, will he go for a run? No, he elects to kick it out wide. Now Withers against Mark Thompson. Thompson wins out. Heads back to Long, then in turn back to Mark Thompson. This is McMullen, very classy player in McMullen. Swings onto the right foot. Ran a long way. And the umpire signalling exactly that, Shane Harris. So it will be a free kick to the Bears at half back.
Ian McMullen playing his 4th league game this year after missing league footy for 2 or 3 years, former Collingwood player. Matthew Kennedy in between half-back and wing. Good distance with the kick. Well, Salmon on the ball now with Madden at full forward. Salmon short pass is good for Manning. Andrew Manning looking for players around the ground, not getting much movement. So he kicks long inside 50. Might have been a push by Madden, no whistle on it. Kransberg fights hard for it. Hardy for the Bears. Flips the ball out to Lester Smith. Here's kick astray. Manning charges at it, misses the ball. Comes here to Withers. Up to the 50-metre line. Caton, and the mark is paid.
Very, very lucky to get away with that, because that was a bad kick by Lester Smith. It was unfortunate that Manning missed it, but then Withers was onto it. But had it been a better kick or a better attempt by Manning.
He might nearly kick this. He's a huge kick, Don.
Kevin Caton named on the interchange bench, started in the 18. Right to the line. Fingers to it, centimetres short, and through for a behind to level the scores at 1-1 apiece. And the Bears going pretty well in the early stages.
They are playing pretty well. They've had that ball on the forward line a few times, Drew, but it's going to be hard to crack that tight defence, particularly that man, Anthony Danaher. There's a free kick to Gary O'Donnell. A lot of goers in defence. Hamilton, O'Donnell, Thompson, Danaher. The flyer there was Scott McIver. Now McMullen showing a clean pair of heels. Comes inside. He's looking for Mark Harvey. On to Kransberg. A touch of the fumbles. This is Marcus Ashcroft. Was grabbed when he didn't have it. Now will the advantage be paid? It is to Martin Leslie. Leslie wide to Philip Walsh. He'll make a difference now. He's back in that Brisbane Bears side. Here's Salmon at half back. Can't take it, but he did the shepherding to allow Hamilton give it across to Alan Izard. A chip pass finds David Grinvold, who's had a good year. Former South Australia. Oh, that's an attempted trip. The advantage paid. It will go to Long to the forward pocket, and well taken by Rod Lester Smith.
Lester Smith, Ashcroft at full stretch, takes the mark, feeds it over to Walsh, back to Withers, who breaks the tackle. Little right footer to centre half forward, dashing back in defence is Watson for a courageous mark. Tim Watson across the half back line. Anthony Danaher has left Kappa behind, but didn't come out with the ball. Merritt paddles into McIver. Back to Bain. Plenty of touches in the first quarter. Wide he goes for Kappa. Warwick Kappa playing his first senior game since round 2. Goes for the short pass. All Essendon back there. Richardson the only chance for the Bears. Outnumbered 3-1. O'Donnell. Anderson. And first time we've seen Greg Anderson tonight. Had a great season. To centre wing. And this ball comes on Van der Haar from Leslie. Bears keep it going forward. Well played, Martin Leslie. Bain again. Has been brilliant. Up to the 50-metre line. On the bounce. Goes past Tashenko. Kappa on the turn. Nobody back there. Warwick Kappa's kick is offline and fails to score.
Well, actually, if he could have kicked it back just a little bit more, Merritt was to the right of that kick, but he's moving pretty well, Kappa. But his problem is when he gets